What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Tonight we're going to do a little stroll down memory lane. And the reason for this stroll is to show you guys that the gains from the gear are not loyal. Okay, for some reason there's some people out there telling people you could take certain things and you maintain that muscle. You keep that muscle forever. You do not keep that muscle forever. You have to be on a steroid, a peptide, a growth hormone, a supplement. You have to be on something in order to keep those gains. There's a stimulus that happens when you take a specific drug or whatever the fuck you're taking that causes your body to adapt and recover faster and maintain that muscle mass. Without it, it doesn't recover faster. It breaks down faster and doesn't recover. And it really doesn't matter what the fuck you do. It's like flipping a light switch on. When you're on the drugs, it's on. When you're off the drugs, the light switch is off. The light's not there anymore. It's just that simple of an analogy. So I'm going to walk you guys through some pictures here and narrate this right now. And hopefully this can kind of show you guys. I'm glad I have all these pictures to talk about this too, because this literally is going to show, well, starting in 2007, because I think some of the other stuff in the past, like I don't even have the pictures from when I was younger. Unfortunately, we didn't have the cell phones with the cameras and shit back then, but we'll start in 2007 and work our way through 2009, 2010, up to the present time, and you guys will be able to see my weight on cycles that are heavy, cycles that are not so heavy, and then HRT. And you can actually see the difference in my physique. Like, a lot of people now are going, Jerry, tell us how much trend and shit you run. I'm like, dude, you don't understand what I looked like when I was on trend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think many of you that are new to the channel know how big I actually was at a few points in my life when I was taking the things that you think I'm taking now. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to this, and hopefully this will explain some shit to you guys. Alright guys, 2007 Lehigh Classic, obviously a heavy cycle right here. Offhand I remember what it was, but I actually have this whole cycle on my underground on my website. If you subscribe in there, it has the whole cycle that I was on for this competition to let you guys know what it was on. About 200 pounds here. Here we have the Pittsburgh 2009, so a couple years later here now. About the same size, a little bit, you know, not as full as the other one. Really didn't have anything to do with the drugs. It was actually my diet that I kind of tried to suck down to the light heavyweight division. I was a heavyweight in the other show. And this next show coming up right here was about a month and a half, 2 months after that. It was the Maryland. And I was a light heavyweight for this again. You can see again, you know, the same type of size, same type of muscularity. Everything's about the same size. These cycles were pretty much similar through this whole time. And then the next picture you're going to see is me in Montana, being completely off at everything. I'm already starting to soften up, already starting to shrink up. This is probably about 3 to 4 weeks off of everything altogether. No HCG, no PCT. I just went off everything altogether. It was not a good time in my life, let me tell you right now. This picture with my younger cousin Aaron, shrinking up even more, have a leaner physique, like a smaller, more streamlined physique. Again, no drugs, 0 drugs. This is probably about 2 months, fully off everything. No PCT. I probably dropped like a good 10 pounds of muscle by this point already. And that leads us to this picture. Off everything for 3.5 months. I lost almost everything, and I was still training and still eating at this time. It's not like I didn't go to the gym anymore, but you can clearly see off all the drugs, I was losing just about everything. I was catabolic, and what I didn't realize this time was my body wasn't kicking back on. Like, my testosterone was not coming back, and this is back in 2009. So I was losing muscle mass very quickly, and I was taking growth hormone, all that stuff, nothing. Here you see my friend Rick, Brandon Ray, me, and Kevin Lavroni. Now, look at how small I was in this picture. This was pretty much at the point where I was just had it. I decided, you know what, something's wrong. My body doesn't feel right. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to go to a doctor, but I didn't have any insurance at the time, so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get a bottle of test and go back on just test. And my buddy actually gave me the bottle at the time. I went back on the test, and this is what I looked like, excuse me, on just testosterone. So this is, I don't remember exactly how much I was taking, but it wasn't a half a bottle a week. So it was definitely under 2, 4, 6, 8. It was under 1,000 milligrams, and that's what I looked like. So about 230 pounds on that much just test alone. Now, mind you, it took me 4 weeks to get back there from the 172 pounds that I was before. I probably could have used less, but I wanted to get there faster. I then went on a bunch of stuff later on that year. Here I am with my friend El Toro and Peter Putnam, and I'm literally sitting over 260 pounds now with, again, I don't recall exactly the dosages, but it was test deck and I believe Anadrol in this cycle right here. And you can clearly see how much bigger. I don't even look like the same person as that picture with Bruno. And that leads me to this now. 195 pounds. This is what I was at the Olympia this year. And this is where people are like, oh, Jerry, you're on trend, you're on this, you're on that. Look how small I am compared to what I was at 260 something. And I wasn't even taking the trend and shit in that picture. So you guys got to understand, like, you know, you cannot keep your gains no matter what anybody tells you. They're just fucking full of shit. So you basically just saw my physique change depending on how much drugs I was on. And when I was off everything, my body was a complete shutdown. And my muscles just shrunk up. Now, when I go on an HRT dosage, I'm able to maintain that 195, 200 pounds without pushing my body as far as training and eating, stuff like that. When I was really small in that picture with Bruno, where I'm kissing Bruno, and the picture with Kevin and Rick and Brandon, I was training at that time. And I was eating. I was trying to maintain my muscle mass. It was just fucking going down and down and down. There was nothing I could do. And I had taken pharma-grade growth hormone, which was supposed to give me new muscle fibers, right? It's hyperplasia, new muscle fibers. I've used PGF2, which was Ludolase, which is the real fucking deal before anybody knew what it was. There was no PGF2 on the market. There was only Ludolase back then, okay? And that came from Mexico as a veterinary supply, and we had that. We were experimenting with that when fucking nobody knew about it. The peptides I had actually taken in 2008 from a company called Pyramid. You couldn't buy them commercially. They weren't research peptides all over the place. They were through a fucking underground source. And those peptides were probably stronger than what you get nowadays, hands down. Real IGF back then, which was like $1,000, you'd have to fucking freeze it in 10 syringes and put it in the refrigerator. The Humatrope, the Nootrope, all the things that were supposed to put solid, lean, permanent mass on you, none of it did that. None of it. Even on the HRT dose, I wasn't bigger than I was before I started taking that shit. You know, on the HRT dose, if I'm training and eating and stuff, I'm 190 pounds, 195 pounds. If I'm pushing it like I am now, I literally eat, I'm almost up to 4,500 calories right now, which for me is a real lot. And my body's growing to 230, which is exactly what I was at when I went on my first cycle of testosterone when I was 21 years old, or 20 years old. That first cycle of testosterone boosted my levels up so high. I never had them tested back then, but I sit around 900 now for my total testosterone. That's pretty high for a 40-year-old who's had that muscle mass on their frame for a long period of time. So be aware, guys. There's going to be people in the fucking comment section who are like, yo, you the fuck you talking about? Listen, before you even fucking picked up a weight, not only was I doing the weight, I was doing the drugs. I've had fucking things from all over the fucking world. Real Parabolin from France. I've had all that shit. You guys do not fucking understand the things that I've seen with the people that I've been around and the things that have fucking been around that I used in the help that I've had throughout the years. That's a main thing. The people that have helped me throughout the years were top fucking pros. Were the people that taught the other pros that are teaching the pros nowadays. Like, you're not getting it. Like, I have that in my underground. If you go to my website, biosretraining.com, there's a membership section. In the membership section, I have all of my fucking cycles. I have the Milos documents, which actually talks about everything Milos has his clients do. It's a handwritten thing from Milos in that fucking thing. Every piece of information you ever wanted to know about a pro and gear is in there. It's in that fucking underground. It's in the membership section, which I don't think a lot of people know about. But bottom line is, you guys got to be aware that there's a lot of people out there who are internet experts. They don't know shit about something they've read in a forum. I actually read a thing in the comment section. The guy was like, a peripheral age, yeah, I know. We knew about all that shit back then. Okay, because it was on the insert that came with the fucking thing, and Dan Duchesne was actually the one that was telling us what was going on with it, and we ordered it and used it. And guess what? No permanent muscle. No permanent muscle from synthol. No permanent muscle from PGF2. You have to do it like this. You motherfucker, we used to shoot it every single fucking hour. Every hour around the fucking clock for 2 days we did that shit. And don't tell me that you or anyone else can do it for months at a time, because you can't. You get sick when you use it. So don't tell me, well, you have to do it like this. You can't do it like the fucking protocols that some of these people say they're doing. It's bullshit. I've used it. If they are, it's not real stuff. So it upsets me because there's so much false information, and it's coming from people that have not done it, have never even fucking held these things in their hands, who've never even tried the diet, who've never even tried the training, who've never even fucking tried anything for an extended period of time to get their body to change, to grow. But they're out there saying stuff like, you know, or Big J, he's another one that people point to. So, see, Big J kept his gains. Big J is like 260 something pounds, but he used to be 260 shredded. You know what I mean? No, he didn't maintain that muscle mass. Is he the same body weight? I can weigh 230, 240, 250 pounds too if I put on, you know, the 20, 30 pounds of fat. And yes, it'll be the same amount that I weighed when I was on the drugs, but I'm not the same muscle mass. You know what I mean? So you guys got to understand, like, it's not a scale thing only. It's a lean body mass thing that people are, you know, they're saying that they're keeping the lean body mass, but they're really not. You know, they're maybe keeping the weight. But gaining fat and losing muscle doesn't mean that you're fucking maintaining the muscle mass that you gained when you were on steroids. That's not how that works. you know, and, you know, I'll tell you right now, like, there's a lot of guys out there. I'm seeing it in these fucking forums and shit, and they're saying shit. There was a discussion in a forum called Geared Up the other day. They were talking about mixing cypionate with propionate esters and slowing this down and slowing that down, and I'm like, seriously? Like, dude, I don't even know what to say to that. You know what I mean? Like, this has been tackled 20 years ago by the pros and the people that coach the pros. And it's just coming back around now. And some of the things that people said, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Some of them were right. You know what I mean? Some of them were absolutely right. But other people were just like, I'm shaking my head going, what the fuck? Like, why are we talking about this? Like, should be just common knowledge. If you're playing with gear, you should already know this shit. Like, this should not be like, you know, you shouldn't jump on fucking gear, take 2,000 milligrams a week, and then be asking these questions later on. It doesn't work like that, guys. You know, that's how people fucking put out false information. And, you know, I don't really know anybody that's gotten hurt from taking gear. But you start putting information out about fucking using stuff like insulin, thyroid medication, you know, testosterone in women, estrogen blockers in women. I mean, things can get pretty fucked up. I've seen it. You know, it is a fact. I don't care who wants to talk about it, who says it's bullshit. I've seen it with my own two eyes, and some of you watching this have seen it and had it happen to you too. So be careful who you listen to. Just because someone on the internet says it doesn't mean it's true. Fuck, don't even listen to me. You know what I mean? You don't even have to fucking listen to me. Research for yourself. You know, but really research it. Don't go on an internet fucking forum. You know, go talk to somebody who's lived through this shit, who's actually done this shit, and has the fucking answers. Biostraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. It's the real deal bicep, and we're out.